Ich bin jetzt hier im Olympiastadion in München und bei mir ist der Drummer von der Band MUSE. Dom, nice to talk to you.
Hi, how are you doing?
Yeah, fine, thanks, and you?
Yeah, very good. Good, thanks.
Wonderful. You call yourself MUSE because of your inspiration. So what is really your muse? What does inspire you?
What? Well, musically, loads of things. You know, from all different styles of music, from you know, some R&B, hip-hop stuff, to pop, to rock, to metal. You know, lots of things. I mean, it's hard to say where you have where all your inspiration musically comes from, because it generally comes from lots of different things. You know, it comes from people you meet, things you hear like accidentally sometimes, things you hear, you know, things that you want to hear or choose to listen to. So it's lots of different things, really. It's I think just the feeling of want to do something creative has always been, you know, a part of all three of us. But even when we were kind of at school, you know, we really enjoyed doing music and arts and things like this. So it's just a need to create, really. But yeah, no one real thing. It's a multitude of lots of different things.
Okay, but not a very special person or anything.
It's much more than that. You know, it's from lots of different styles of music to people to loads of things you might read. It's lots of stuff. So it's I think some people just obviously a lot of people listen to music and read things and talk to people and be inspired by people. But you know, there's some people like to try and express how they feel through an art medium. You know, and for us it's music. You know, some people would like to just paint. You know, if they had a weird conversation with their girlfriend or wife or something like that, they might want to paint a picture after it. You know, whereas we might write a song.
All right. Right now it's getting winter in Europe, and as far as I know, you're very into snowboarding. Is that right?
I love snowboarding. Yeah. I've been snowboarding for maybe 9 years. 9 years. I think the first time I went was for the millennium. You know, 2000. For the new year there. But yeah, you know, I mean, I'm not like particularly great. You know, I can go down a hill and not fall over too much. But, you know, I don't do anything too crazy, you know. I just kind of like to cruise around. But I hope to go this year. I'm not sure whether we'll get much time this year, but I'd like to.
And where?
Well, I've been to France, you know, Europe, France and Switzerland, basically. They're the only places I've been to. That's a lie, actually. I've been to Andorra and a couple of like one-off days, 2 days in America, in like in a place called Snowbird, which is up in you know, near Denver. I love it. You know, it's amazing up there. If I don't know whether you snowboard, but yeah. What that feeling you get at the top of the mountain, looking out, it's crazy, isn't it? It really kind of it's good for your soul, I think, seeing those kind of views.
But you're not doing kicker or half pipe or something like that?
No, I'm too much of a wuss. I'm worried about breaking my hands, you know, breaking my wrist, because, you know, breaking your wrist is the most common snowboarding injury, isn't it? And I'm a drummer, so I don't want to do that, you know, especially when we have to go on a tour in Australia in January. So I normally wear wrist guards, you know, keep it nice and safe, and just kind of, you know, take it easy. But I think I broke my rib on my first ever snowboarding, yes, my first ever snowboarding session, because I fell down and like punched myself in the chest. And it fucking killed for like weeks and weeks and weeks, and I think I found out I cracked my ribs. But yeah, that only happened once, fortunately.
Oh, that's poor you. So, but do you know that your music is also played in some snowboarding videos, like snowboard, contests, right. Stuff like that?
That's cool. Yeah, I didn't know that. I imagine, you know, our music gets used for lots of different things, you know, and lots of people ask you to use your music for films and things like that, and that's cool, you know. I like that side of things. I don't think I've ever heard it going down the slopes, because, you know, like when you go to the half pipe, they're always like blasting out a bit of punk rock, you know. I've never heard it, but I'd like to. Might help me snowboard better.
Yeah, probably.
Or completely distract me and I'll fall over and cause an avalanche.
Hopefully not. I mean, you're also played in movies like Twilight. Do you make a difference between that? Do you prefer it more to be played in like snowboard videos, or is it also a great feeling for you to be played in like teenage movies like Twilight?
Well, they're all different, you know. You get asked a lot of times for different things for your music to be in, and some things you kind of choose to say yes to, and some things you don't. Don't really have that much of a preference, you know. It's about whether it feels right for the music. And the thing is, with the Twilight film, even though that is a teenage film about vampires, which our music has nothing to do with, really, so to speak. But the author, Stephanie Meyer, was a really, really big fan of the band, and we met her years ago, and she told us about her books and how she likes to listen to our music to write her books, and told us she was going to make a film, or a film was going to be made based on one of our books, and asked us whether we would give us some music, either write some music or, you know, at least use some music that we've already written. So we said yes. So we said yes very early on, you know, before we even knew anything about the film, because we didn't know anything about the film. It was way before it was even made and successful. So we said yes then. So, you know, we were locked in from an early stage.
But very good. I mean, let's talk about your new album. There are a lot of rumors always going on about you. Do you care about it, or do you take it like, okay, that's what people think about us?
Yeah, well, I guess there's always rumours and things. What kind of rumours do you mean? I mean, there's always people talking stuff, whether it's truth or lies. You know, that always happens with lots of artists and things like that. So I don't worry about that too much, because, you know, it's me and the other guys know what's true, I guess, with that, in regards to those kind of things. But no, what kind of rumours are you talking about?
No, there are different ones. I mean, some predictions like, probably they're going to do a bit more classical or a bit more like that.
Well, they're just, they sound like just opinions, you know, like fans' opinions, and which is good. It's good for us to. I mean, we read these kind of opinions sometimes, you know, and particularly, I suppose, with the website and the message board. Our message board is really, really active, and we have lots of people on there always talking. And that's great. So, you know, we'd like to. It's nice to know what your fans think about what you're doing, you know. And I think we definitely paid quite a bit of attention, you know, in these recent times. Like with the album coming out, it was quite interesting to know what the fans really thought of it, and same with like the whole concert and show and the production and everything. You know, it was in those early gigs. It was nice to see what they thought, whether they approved. Most of them did. But yeah, we'd like to try and feel like, you know, the website has always been very, very, it's very, very kind of active and updated, and we frequent it quite a lot. So we kind of like to feel like we're pretty close to the fans that use our website.
All right, let's talk about your new song, Uprising. It's a very dynamic song, but the lyrics are rather like, do you know Aldous Huxley's Brave New World, or the movie Gattaca, like that, like predictions to the future?
I haven't seen those films, unfortunately. Yeah, well, the music and the lyrics are very, very different in their vibe, I suppose. Lyrically, it's very, very down to earth and very kind of, you know, has quite a very revolutionary tone. It's quite a song that's influenced by protest in some ways, which we've seen quite a lot of in recent times, like certainly during the course of making the album. There's been lots of protest around the world, like early this year and last year, that seemed, you know, particularly, bad, or this particularly frequent than normal, it seemed, in our eyes anyway. And particularly, you know, G20 protests in London, that was a really big one that was handled very, very badly, and I suppose that song was quite influenced by the vibe of that protest. You know, a little bit directed at politicians and bankers and people who have been stealing the British public's money and the world's, you know, public's money, but yes, and musically it's completely different. It's really fun and upbeat, and it's a glam rock track. So it's not, you know, it's kind of a bit silly, you know, but I think they worked together in that kind of way.